tactic of hit and run. Not for them to heed the warning of von Tirpitz that Germany has never understood the sea. And so, far out in the gray Atlantic, the Nazis play their second card. If we cannot bomb them out, then we will starve them out. From bases along the western coast of France, the big Focke-Wulf bombers range far and wide across the ocean, seeking out the convoys approaching British shores. A rapid inspection from low altitude, and the radios begin to speak. Air reconnaissance calling U-55. Air reconnaissance calling U-55. Eastbound British convoy, located latitude 5330, longitude 1710. Attack with torpedoes. Off the coasts of Ireland, along the vital westerly approaches to the British Isles, the U-boats lie in waiting. 4, 5, and 6 of them together, working in flotillas. Like wolves, they will stalk a convoy for days at a stretch, biding their time until the chance of wind and weather offers the fattest prize to their torpedoes. This is their song. We're sailing against England. And woe betide the ship attempting to run the gauntlet of the Atlantic alone. Be she allied, be she neutral, the fact that her course is set towards British shores is enough to seal her fate. Today, the shipyards of North America sound their answer in the clang of hammers. New ships to release British merchantmen for service in the Atlantic. And along Canada's coasts and rivers, the corvettes take the water to help Britain's hard-pressed destroyers keep that vital supply line open. Already the tide of battle may be turning. Already the wide Atlantic is becoming a graveyard for the raiders themselves. The final answer lies not alone in ships. Hitler himself has said, it is not arms that decide, but the men behind them. And behind these men of Churchill's Island lies 1,000 years of the sea in peace and war, in calm and storm. Because of them, the convoys plow on and Britain's lifeline holds. For the Nazis, the writing is already on the wall. They have learnt that Britain cannot be conquered by bombs. They know that the Western world will not see her starved. only one card remains: direct invasion. For long months, the German Army staff has been planning with all the patient foresight of their kind the landing which they know must win or lose the war. Cruising along the Channel coast, past Dover, Portsmouth, and battered Plymouth, Nazi planes maintain their ceaseless search for chinks in England's armor. From French and Belgian ports, torpedo boats streak across, probing for possible landing points, striving to keep tab on the movements of the fleet. And back in Germany, all winter long, the airborne army has been rehearsing its suicide role. These are the shock troops whose task it is to achieve what the ruthless tactics of the Luftwaffe failed to do: blow up defenses, destroy communications, spread the panic born of uncertainty, and so create a bridgehead for the main invading forces. Against this strategy of terror stands the might of Britain, her ships and planes, machines and guns and men, arrayed in the greatest system of defense in the history of warfare. Night and day, the Sunderland flying boats patrol far out to eastward, keeping the German coast under constant surveillance for any sign of unwanted activity. Below, in the squalls of the North Sea, the Navy keeps its sleepless watch for whatever may appear on the eastern horizon, be it the foretops of battleships or the blunt bows of motor barges. Inshore again work the minelayers, forging their chain of death up and down the coasts. Their task? To ensure that seaborne reinforcements with heavy artillery and tanks will never get through alive to seize the bridgeheads opened by the parachutists. Across the mouth of every harbor, every estuary, lie the booms, steel nets, whose catch is submarine and surface craft alike. On the beaches of England, the children play no longer. For among the sand dunes move the troops in steel helmets and battle dress, and armed with Tommy guns that will cut a man in half at 200 yards. And every day the shorelines echo to the warning thunder of the coastal guns at target practice. Patrolling every moor and down are the Home Guard, the parachuters, whose job it is to destroy airborne troops before they can consolidate positions. Across the countryside, the church bells are ready to sound the tocsin, and the fields have grown a new crop: tank traps. In the byways and the lanes, every stranger is challenged and identified. On the main roads, every civilian driver stopped for examination. At concentration points from Aberdeen to the Isle of Wight, mechanized forces stand ready to rush at the first alarm to any threatened area. Aloft, far out of sight above the clouds, fighter squadrons patrol the sky, waiting to pounce on transports and gliders before they can jettison their human loads. And behind it all, Britain's citizen army daily grows in strength as ever more men, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, are called to the colors. More strength from home and more from overseas as new troops arrive from Canada and the other dominions to take their places on the ramparts. All through the broad acres of Britain they are standing too, along the white walls of the Channel, on the red earth of Devon, in the marches of East Anglia. With every passing hour, this island fortress of Churchill and his people grows more formidable. Each day, the tide of help from friends across the sea flows ever stronger. And deep-rooted in these British people, in the Cockneys and the Clydesiders, in the men of Bristol and Manchester, Cardiff and Middlesbrough, in the 7 million citizens of London, lies an inner strength, a stubborn calm, which bomb and fire and steel cannot pierce. So as the ships steam on up channel, past the Lizard and the Needles and the towering cliffs of Beachy Head, they sight once more the watchtowers and the bastions of Churchill's Island. They stand unconquered as they have stood down 1,000 years of history, and still they throw their challenge across those 20 miles of water. Come, if you dare.